You guys. So I'd like to share the story of Universal Music Center right now, how all this came to be. Many years ago, let's say we'll go back at this point, 15 years ago maybe, something like that. I'm from Chicago, and living in Chicago, working as a musician there, and things were getting like, well, I should say this. For 18 years, I played 300 dates a year in Chicago. And I booked all of those. I ran 6 of my own bands. I was writing 60 1099 forms to musicians annually. Prior to that, for 7 years, I played in 3 of the biggest drawing bands in the Chicagoland area. And one of them used to play here at the Caboose all the time. It was Big Twist and the Mellow Fellows. And I used to come up here with Big Twist and play. And it was at the end of my time with Twist that I decided to start my own band and put my own group together, and that began the 18-year period of working 300 dates a year. So things were starting to get, it was starting to wear me down. You know, my big joke back then was that I work 100 hours a week to avoid working 40. So, so it was starting to wear me out, and I thought, you know, I'm playing with all these different groups, with all these different people. Some of it, you know, in those days, if you would have paid me to come to your house with a snare drum and stand in your bathroom and play for an hour, that would have been a gig. That would have been a date in my books. So I was doing all kinds of stuff I wasn't that crazy about doing, but, you know, I stated to my family in the world, I'm a working musician, so I worked at anything I could do to earn money playing drums. So at the end of that period, I decided to try to diversify a little bit. I thought, you know, I'm the only one in town working this much, and I booked all these dates. So I wanted to try to get into sales, into the field of sales. And I got a job with a corporation, and that began a period of, well, there's a funny story about that because I got this job with this company, and it was going to be placing contract computer programmers with corporations. So I had to go to California to train with this company. And this is the end now of my period of 18 years of 300 dates a year. So on a Sunday night, I'm playing this festival in Tinley Park. And the night is winding down, and we're getting to the last song, you know, the last set, and it was going to be the last song and the last set and the last note of the last song, and I'm thinking to myself, this is it. This is the end of my life as a professional musician. Tomorrow, I bought a suit, you know, and a tie and all this, and I'm going to go to California and be a salesman, you know. So it was, you know, probably overly dramatic, but that's what I went through. And so I make this transition, and I come back to Chicago. I'm working. It's going good. You know, the plan was working. It allowed me to do music, take music opportunities that I was interested in. So with the sales job, I didn't have to do every single thing that came my way. I stuck with things that had a little more musical integrity and just stuff that I was interested in. So I'm in this office, and I'm there for about maybe 3 months, you know, and I'm thinking, all right, this is going great, you know, and the phone rings, and I pick it up, and the voice on the other line goes, want to audition for the Lovin' Spoonful? So I'm sitting there going, man, you know, it's dragging me back in. And of course I said, yes, I want to audition for the Spoonful. And so I got that job with the Lovin' Spoonful, and then at that point, you know, I moved to another company. I moved into, with corporations and sales organizations that you only got paid on the commissions on what you sold. So there was flexibility there, so I could go on the road, you know, and as long as I kept my numbers up, I was okay. So that's what was happening. But at the end of that period, I was starting, man, you know, this sales thing is really not what I thought it would be, you know, and you know, it was going okay, but I wasn't really happy. So I had this idea for a music school. And then my wife Lori had a career opportunity here in Minnesota, and we decided to move here. So we came here. We chose to live in Red Wing, you know, which has been great, a total blessing, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. But I got here, and we bought our house from Tom Brown, and we're closing on the house, and I said to Tom, you know, I'm going to have to generate some income sooner or later. Is there any place I can meet people? So he goes, yeah, the safety meeting. So I said, the safety meeting? Okay, I'll come to the safety meeting. So I'm thinking about safety and all this, you know, and I go to the safety meeting, and I think it was, I'm not sure who's, I think it might have been Al Quanstrom from the radio station, pounds his fist down on the table. We met at this Andy's bar up here, you know, and he pounds his fist on the table. He goes, snow tires. So that was the safety meeting. That was the thing. So then we started ordering drinks, and that was the end of the safety meeting. But it was at the safety meeting I met, who is now our mayor, Mike Wilson. Okay? Yeah, let's give Mike Wilson a big round of applause. Mike played music in his life, and we used to talk about being in bands and playing and all, and I told him about this idea I had for this music school. So Mike goes, "You gotta meet Robert Hedin." So I'm like, "Yeah, okay, great, I'll meet Robert Hedin," so he sets the meeting up. And so we come over here, they were building, it was back, they were still building this, this structure here. And I come to the meeting, and I'm still like cynical from being a salesman in Chicago and all this. I'm figuring I'm just going to leave my car running. I'm going to go in. The guy's going to tell me, it's a great idea, but not now, but maybe later. I go in and I meet Robert, and Art Kenyon was there. We talked for about an hour and a half, and it was so exciting. And one thing led to another. And thanks to Robert, and thanks to Mike and Carolyn, we're here on the grounds in the Anderson Center. Yeah. I mean, it was one of those things in life where everything led to another meeting. Everything led to, it all worked out. One thing led to the next, and it's just been phenomenal. So that's kind of what happened, just in terms of being here. But after we got set up, I met Bonnie Schock. Bonnie Schock used to be the executive director of the Sheldon Theater. And Bonnie told me, oh, by the way, I should say it was Robert that advised me to be a nonprofit, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And Robert and Carolyn also gave me the opportunity to do a presentation to the community, which we did right down here in the art gallery. So I got to meet a lot of people from that presentation. I met Scott and Ann Jones. I met just a lot of people. It was fantastic. So I asked Robert, I said, well, nonprofit, do you get paid with a nonprofit? And he said, oh yeah, you get paid, So, so I studied it, nonprofit, and figured out I understood what he was advising me, and it was among the best advice that anyone had ever given me. And it was Bonnie that talked to me about writing grants and how to, that the Minnesota State Arts Board had a program that she thought would be a fit for what we're doing. I talked with her about how to write a grant. I got the application. I filled it out, took it to Bonnie. She said, well, let's change this, let's change that. Made a little adjustments, and I was awarded the grant. So that's been happening every year for 10 years. I've gotten the most tremendous support from this community. I thank Robert and Carolyn. I thank the Minnesota State Arts Board, CMAC, the Red Wing Port Authority, the Goodhue County CARES Act. So it's all been so fantastic, and I tell you from the bottom of my heart, I value this stuff, and I'm honored, to be here. And I write these grants with no, you need the money to run a business, but I don't write these grants for the money. I write these grants so that I can keep doing this program, and I can keep trying to help people, and I can keep sharing what I gave my entire life to, so it's funny, you work your entire life and you get these skills and everything, and I gave my son some drum lessons. He took 3 lessons from me and then went off on his own, and he's doing great. But that, I've got all this stuff I want to share, so this has just been a tremendous opportunity. And I'd like to take the opportunity right now to introduce to you some of the phenomenal, or actually all of the phenomenal instructors that have helped me along the way. And I keep saying me, but it's us. We all work together. I'll start with this young man sitting up on the ledge up here. This is Mark Warple. Mark is an unbelievably accomplished musician, composer, songwriter, producer, and a great guy. And he's also a master carpenter and was the lead carpenter on this building when I met him. So, remember that day, Mark? They go, you gotta meet Mark. So, yeah, I got to meet Mark, and it's been so great to know you and become friends with you. Mark, thank you. Thank you for everything you do. Susan Forsyth, where is she? Susan, stand up, please. Susan teaches piano, violin, and cello. So piano and strings for us. Susan has been a member of 6 different symphony orchestras. She's performed on stage with Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson, a bunch of Motown artists. Is a tremendously gifted person. She's actually a full-time substitute teacher in the Red Wing public school system here. Yeah, go ahead. Which gives her a unique ability to be great with kids. I mean, she is just phenomenal with little kids, you know. So, Susan, can't thank you enough. Blessing to know you. Thank you. Susan Forsythe. Where's Jay? Jay Mercado. Jay, this is a funny story. One day, I see this card up on a bulletin board somewhere in town, and it's got this guy playing drums on it, you know? So I'm like, no, you're not teaching drums, you're gonna... So I called him and I said, well, tell me what you're doing, you know, and he gave me a little bit about his background. I'm like, just come and teach at UMC, you know? Jay is a veteran of 2 different arms of the how would you say it? He's been in the Marines and he's been in the Navy, long stints with both of those organizations, and he played in the bands in both of those branches of the military. So you don't get to do that by being a slouch musician. You know, to get into one of those bands, it is not. And he did it for two branches of the military. He's a great guy, tremendously talented, tremendously gifted, teaches guitar and drums for us. Jay, stand up one more time, please. Jay Mercado. I'd like to thank the person that is my right hand, and here I go. So very important, my wife Lori Newbert. Lori, thank you so much for all you do. Lori is the one who sends you your invoices, so I know you all love Lori. So she's been so tremendously integral in this whole organization with helping me. She's organized the whole thing. So just really great, and I feel so grateful to you, Lori, for all you do and how hard you work for this and believing in it. So, and then Claire is not here today, but Claire Lorraine does all our social media, and she does a tremendous job. So we are just so blessed and so happy to have this great team with Universal Music Center. And I'd like to give another round of applause for all of them, all of the people that work with Universal Music Center who do a fantastic job. At this point, our programs have evolved quite a bit. You know, we started out with just 2 programs. Now we offer songwriting, we offer recording, we offer live performance opportunities. When the pandemic hit, I thought up of a concept called a virtual concert. So what we did during the height of the pandemic was bring students in one at a time, and it was just me and my GoPro here and the student in the Universal Music Center, so it was safe. And we would record individual performances, and then Claire would assemble it into an actual concert performance that we would present through our website and through YouTube. So we did the virtual concerts. We have live opportunities. When we first started, we were getting asked to come to all kinds of events in the community to bring some students. You want to bring some students to play music, and it's it's just been great. So we've tried to work really hard to be a member of the community and to do good things with and for the community. I personally do a lot of social emotional arts learning programs. I teach out at the Juvenile Correctional Facility. I work with all kinds of populations, people with mental and physical challenges. I work with seniors, memory care, at-risk youth, underserved populations, and I'm very proud of all that work that I'm doing. I'm trying to, again, just to do good things for the community. So that's kind of our story, and I'd just like to say, here's to 10 more years. Thank you so very much, everybody. Yeah. Thank you. There are a couple other thank yous I want to mention now while we're doing this. Some of the foundations I mentioned: the Minnesota State Arts Board, the Red Wing Shoe Foundation, the Hedin Family Foundation, the Red Wing Port Authority, Goodhue County CARES Act, and the Anderson Center. I thank all of those great organizations for all of the support and help that you've given us. Our board, I want to thank our board members. Art Kenyon. Art, you're here, aren't you? Where's Art? There he is. Art Kenyon. Thank you, Art. Thank you, the first board member. You're so just great. Thank you for all you do. Lori's on the board. Another nice round of applause for Lori. Tim McKim is on our board. Levon Kay was a board member. Becky Thompson was a board member. Mark Warpo is now a board member. Fantastic. And Paul Cargo. Those are all the members of our boards, past and present. I want to certainly make a personal thanks to our mayor, Mike Wilson. Without your generosity, I wouldn't be standing here. So thank you, Mike. Thank you so much. Certainly want to thank Robert and Carolyn Hadeen. You guys are tremendous. Carolyn guided me on so many business things. Robert gave me so much guidance. You know, you've just been so great and so helpful. Thank you. Thank you to you. Thank you so very much. Want to thank Win Von Bargen. Is Win here? Win and Lou. Win did all the drywall and cut all the trim, you know, for Universal Music Center. Lou, I want to thank Win and Lou. Thank you so much. Linda Wilson, I'm not sure if Linda's here, but she helped us get off the ground. Barb Clare is here. Barb, where's Barb? Thank you, Barb. Barb painted all that artwork. Robert gave me the old construction fence. That they had a fence, a wooden fence, you know, when they bought this property. So we took all these pieces of fence and turned Lori loose with my brother's handsaw, and she made all these various shapes, and we gave her an air staple gun, and she put all these figures together, and Barb helped paint all that stuff. So thank you, Barb, you know, thank you for all that you've done too. I want to thank Claire Lorraine. I want to thank Paul Zeig. Paul helped me through all the legal stuff, getting ready. Merlin Berg, I think Merlin is here, isn't he? Where's Merlin? There he is. Merlin just did our new carpeting. Thank you, Merlin. My brother Matt Arturi, my cousin Tommy, we did all the frame out. I designed the floor plan. My brother Matt, my cousin Tommy and me did all the frame out. Wynn did the drywall and the trim with his great daughter and Lou. So I want to thank my daughter Emily. Emily designed our logo and did a lot of graphic art stuff for us in the very beginning. I want to thank Steve, the general manager from Menards, from our Red Wing Menards, who gave us a 10% discount on everything we were doing when we started. So Steve has just been a great supporter, and it's just been so cool to get to know him and spend money in this community too. I want to thank Randy and Janae Clipful. Okay, Randy and Janae have helped us very much. You know, it's just been great to have them. Randy, they're going to donate a beautiful piano to us, an electric piano. Randy's dad was a music teacher, and he passed away sadly a little while ago, and had some equipment, so they're donating a great piano to the school. So thank you, Randy and Janae. I want to thank Jenny Wentz from Wentz Accounting. That's our accounting firm here in town. I want to thank First Farmers Bank. They've been fantastic. Carolyn guided me to First Farmers, you know, so that was great. And also I want to thank Gary from Hobgoblin. Gary used to let us do our live concerts there for free. So that was pretty tremendous. So that's the story of Universal Music Center, ladies and gentlemen.